Hello once again. Welcome to Some Idiot Reads, where I'm Cy, I'm some idiot, and as you could guess, I'm here to read some stuff. I'm going to go ahead and dive on right into it. We've got another one of there's been two of Coyote's dispatches from Appalachia since the last time I read. He's been rather productive. And it was a bit of a choice to try and sit down and go, which one to go with? And while I personally absolutely love the Lost Heroes of Old Appalachia, I feel that it's probably more important for me to dive into the other article that he wrote. So I'm going to go ahead, as I said, dive right on into it. Please bear in mind, if you do enjoy this, make sure, well, even if you don't enjoy it, go over, show some love to Coyote. Make sure you give him a follow. That is going to be right over there. He's up to 172 followers now. That is pretty awesome. It keeps going up. We want it to go up. And we'll go over the rest of the stuff at the end of the article. But make sure you go give him a follow. You go to the actual article itself. Show it that love. We're going to go ahead and dive right on into Hurt in Our Hearts. The Imperilment of Gay Marriage in America. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my beloved Coyote fam, and those of you for whom this dispatch may be your first encounter with my prose. Most of the time, this is where I start out by telling you just how beautiful or peaceful it is in these mountains. Sometimes, when I have, in whatever poor way I can, a brief window into the lives of those who live here, I move on to the issues that plague my people. Then, there are other times when I tell you of the rich history of Appalachia, of those who have struggled and overcome great odds. I have told you of Mother Jones, of Sid Hatfield, of bombing runs conducted by the Black Death No. 5, and why they called it Bloody Harlan. I've been a gonzo hell spitter with a keyboard. I have been a makeshift historian to a forgotten time and an often neglected culture. I've been both storyteller and jokester, spinning you yarns of my misspent youth in these hills. Today, I am none of those things. I cease to be them the moment my sprat, that's daughter to you, the only kin I've got in this world who I see with any true regularity, messaged me in the middle of the night to tell me that, quote-unquote, they were taking away gay marriage. That she was scared of what that would mean for her and her girlfriend of 5 years. She is 23 and does not need this broken down old coyote to look after her. She's mighty independent, and God, I love that about her. A picture: hoodie sporting sprat and the princess. Magnificent. I comforted her as best I could in these uncertain times, made the somewhat silly promise that if they did, I would sell everything I own to get us to Canada. You'll say anything to your young'un, even if they're 23 and fiercely independent, if it helps them not to be scared. You'll do anything at all to protect them from loss or harm, even if they do not need you, or if you have not always been there in the past. Normally, when I discuss politics, I like to slide a little humor in there. I like to poke fun at the fascists and their stupidity. I've taken great delight in roasting that faux Appalachian that calls himself J.D. Vance, and I could fill 2 books with the sins of the rest of Trump's cabinet alone. I'm not here to poke fun, though, and I don't give a fuck about listing their sins anymore. There are matters on which there can be no solidarity with those who break rank. And there are grievances in my heart that burn as hot now as a coal seam that has taken light. I will not be speaking to you in this piece as a labor leftist, nor will I be speaking to you as an artist trying to capture beauty or struggle with my words. These words are not penned by a journalist, a novelist, a freelancer, or even an aspiring game designer. What burns in me right now is too scalding in its intensity for me to be any of those things. These words are penned by a father, nothing else. On behalf of all the fathers of wonderful LGBTQ plus children, adult or otherwise, on behalf of every single gay or trans person in this whole wide world, and especially on behalf of those who had to grow up without fathers who supported them, or loved them, or had the goddamn decency to accept them. Fill your hands. Do you hear me? Fill your fucking hands. Picture: the coyote, the sprat. Caption: I can only goofy smile around the sprat. Sue me. These words are from Coyote Wallace. This is the dispatches from Appalachia. He's madder than a wet hornet. And today, we're talking about hurt in our hearts, the imperilment of gay marriage in America. A settled matter. Firstly, allow me to begin by stating the most obvious part of this whole sad affair right from the very beginning. The matter of gay marriage was decided on June 26, 2015, by the Supreme Court in the landmark case of Obergefell, I did not pronounce that right, versus Hodge. The court found that the fundamental right to marriage belonged to same-sex couples just like the rest of us. The legality of this rests in the Due Process Clause and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. There is no wiggle room in this, no other interpretation with meritorious validity, and certainly no argument to be made by a reasonable mind against giving gay folks the basic right to get married. A picture. Joy. Pure joy. These marriages will not harm anyone. There is no circumstance in which anyone will be compelled to attend. And for the most part, and I cannot stress this enough, the matter is none of your fucking business. If you do not approve of gay marriage, that does not entitle you in the least bit to make their life hard. Not one bit. Where I'm from, if you don't mind your own goddamn business, someone else will mind your business for you. I do not compromise with fascists, nor do I compromise with racists, and I shall be damned, dipped in coal dust, and thrown to Satan's doorstep before I compromise with any homophobes either. You are cruel cowards who hound and harass people who just want to be happy so that you may inflict the vileness that plagues your soul on others. All people deserve equality. All people deserve dignity. All people deserve their basic human rights. If you don't like that, you have two options. You can either get the fuck out of my country, or you can pound sand up your ass until it comes out your eyes. And I'm not particular on which bit of choosing you do. You bullies don't scare me none, and you vanish like haints with the lights on when someone stands up to you. Secondly, and this is very important, there's this thing called the separation of church and state. Now, this little principle exists to keep the government from establishing any national religion. Moreover, the separation of church and state, which is primarily derived from the First Amendment of our Constitution, is there to prevent you from forcing anyone to believe and practice as you do. So, if you got some kind of Christian nationalist fuckery going on in your head, I need you to understand. This country wasn't made for your ass. This notion that you can reshape our democracy into a theocracy because you want to hate on somebody, well, that there is downright fucking pathetic. Fucking at it on my part. Another photograph of joy, pure joy. If your God feels so strongly about gay marriage, I think your God probably would have just not made gay people. Now, I'm not a theologian or anything, but if you believe in an all-powerful being whose primary concern is that two fellas are going to live happily together, maybe that's not such a good deity to believe in. I'm gonna make the gays just to test the Americans is a little bit fucking crazy sounding when you say it aloud, right? Now, let's cut to the real goddamn heart of the problem and speak plainly, as we do. You bastards just want to hurt people and make them sad and make them feel like they are less than you. Let us hold up your motives and expose them for what they are. Symptoms of sad lives lived in fear and self-loathing. You are not worth a single tear that rolls down my daughter's cheek. Not the whole lot of you. And not whatever crackpot politicians endorse your cruelty. Do you expect us to take this? Photograph. Gentleman holding up a sign. GOP will not marginalize me. Captioned. Damn right they won't. You expect my daughter to sit down? She won't. You expect me to bow down? I won't. You expect us to be afraid of the likes of you. Ain't nobody in that community that you can bully or make afraid anymore. I'm not just an ally, you fucking assholes. I am a father to one of those people that you want to take rights away from. In what world do you live? What dreamlike state do you walk this earth in that you could even conceive that we will not oppose you at every step? I'm not big. I'm not tough. I'm not famous enough for my words to hit you with the force that you so richly deserve to be struck. But I shall lend every talent and ounce of energy that I have to this fight. I would rather fight under the rainbow flag than piss upon the flag of any country that would deny my daughter her rights. Speaking of a puddle of piss, let's talk about Kim Davis. For those of you that don't remember, Kim Davis, she was the lady who threw her little shit fit over having to issue marriage licenses. She liked the way the right wing swarmed around her and tried to make her a martyr for the cause, and she has become the face of the movement to repeal same-sex marriage. She claims that her connection with Jesus is imperiled by the mere signing her name on a same-sex marriage license. The sight of lesbians makes her want to pluck out her eyes, and the thought of men snuggled up in bed haunts her dreams, surely sent by Satan himself to hound her chaste and righteous slumber. Pictured. Well, the caption says it all. You're not worthy being witty for, Ms. Davis. Fuck you. And from the reader, double fuck you, bitch. The horror of it. Rainbows and acceptance everywhere. People minding their own business and being happy while loving each other and taking care of each other. Lord have mercy on me, what a terrible thing. I can see why it would upset Kim Davis terribly. I'm kidding. I don't speak fluent homophobic bigot enough to understand Kim Davis. However, unlike J.D. Vance, Kim Davis is actually an Appalachian. She's from this little place called Rowan County, Kentucky, with a population of about 24,000 or so. Same as my hometown, roughly. And this is a multi-time, failed, small-time politician. She was actually defeated in the 2018 election by her Democratic opposition, Edward Caudill Jr., while running for county clerk once more. She has been jailed for her bigotry, and during her incarceration, she even met with Pope Francis. Now, let me be real clear for Miss Davis, and let me speak real plain. You're a bad person. A very bad person. You're not a holy warrior. You are not a representative of Christ. You are not speaking for the rest of us, or whatever delusion has taken root in that empty head of yours. You are a bigot. You are a homophobe. You are cowardly and craven in your scheming to see the rights of others taken away. What gives you the right to make my daughter worry about a goddamn thing? Pictured, the Sprat. Caption, the Sprat isn't a writer, but she gets her point across just fine. For those that are simply listening, it's with that nice birdie salute. You want to be righteous? Fine. I shall be your devil. Let it be me. Fuck you, the horse you rode in on, your backwards-ass church, the Republican Party, Peter Thiel's quisling, godless soul, and every single person that would stand behind you. The future belongs to them, not old dogs like you and me. And you shall not leave behind your stained outlook on the world to make their lives harder. There are many of them who had to grow up without a damn drop of acceptance from people who should have loved them with all their hearts. And you are entitled to no part of their lives, no part of their happiness, no part of their futures, and who they would spend them with. Your morality sickens me to my core, as it sickens all who hear it and have hearts capable of love. Were you not raised better? What sort of mother did you have that raised you to hurt other people because they scare you? Were you so deprived of positive attention in your life that now you would steal goodness away from others and try to fill that hole in the depths of your soul? Another picture. Captioned, "Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. The fuck yourself strikes back. And go fuck yourself. Return of the fucked self." History will remember you like George Wallace, except not as successful, charismatic, or meaningful. I want you to know, one day, when my girl gets married and I'm dancing at her wedding, nobody there will think of you. Nobody there will remember you, your shitty God, your fucked up, cruel heart, or a single vile word that fell from your lips. You will go into the cold ground of this earth, loved by none and remembered with scorn. If you're lucky, they'll be painting your gravestone in rainbow colors for 100 years after this. Much more likely, and I hope this hurts, you won't even be a footnote worth remembering by history itself. Hate burns out, Ms. Davis. There's always a lot of smoke, but the fires that fuel it are too weak to burn down that which you hope they will consume. Love, Ms. Davis. Love shines on and on and on down the long corridors of history, through the shadows cast by your ignorance, and it will continue to shine on when neither of us are left standing anymore. Picture. Sign. Love wins. Captioned. You're damn right it does. You want my daughter's future? You want these people's future? Well, what if we tell you that you can't have it, and if you wish to have it, you're welcome to gather yourself as many sheep-shagging homophobes as you can find and try to take it? I only ask that since you are God's chosen one and put yourself at the front of that line. I imagine there's a great many people who would like to express their feelings on your position. Yet, we know you won't do that. For you, just like every other homophobic scum, are a coward underneath your bully's bluster. Another photograph. Pride is a riot. Yep. The fact you threw in with the Republicans shows me you are of scab stock. You are of those who would have licked the coal dust off the operator and gun thug's boots. You are unworthy of your heritage and unfit to represent the beliefs of our people. You are a traitor to every aspect of Appalachian life, and I want you to know that when I meet you in hell one day, I will rejoice, for I will know my daughter is someplace where your filthy fucking words will never reach her ears. Shame on you. A few words for the Supreme Court. Old sons, I don't like you none, and I'm nearly positive that none of you would care much for the likes of me. I was born with too much outlaw in my blood to cotton much with court types of any sort. However, I shall do my best to do you a favor and give your lot a bit of free advice on behalf of those this issue impacts. Do the right thing. The LGBTQ plus community is a vibrant and vital part of our nation's soul. And whatever other issues we may disagree upon, we must surely believe that every man, woman, and child of this country deserves the same rights. We are not a theocracy. We must not behave like a theocracy. And there is precious little faith left in our system as it stands. The harm that stealing away the right to gay marriage would do to these people is unconscionable, immoral, and most of all, it's illegal. They are our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our daughters, and our sons. We will protect them with the full measure that anyone would protect those they love. We will do this regardless of your ruling, but we will not rest until we topple your schemes, if we must persist in doing this while in opposition to the court's ruling. The eye of history itself is upon you. Will you be remembered like those who passed Dred Scott versus Sanford, the case that denied citizenship to the black community? What about those who ruled on Plessy v. Ferguson, which created the quote-unquote separate but equal doctrine? Do you want to be like them? Maybe you'd rather be lumped in with those who ruled during Korematsu v. United States that Japanese people needed to be held in internment camps. Time itself will keep your names. Children will be taught of you for good and evil alike. And what they remember of you will be determined by these sorts of rulings. Trump, for whom you quiver and wish to placate, will not be the ruler of our land for all time. You will live to see the day that we tear down all that the fascists have built, for fascism does not withstand the forward march of history. But your sins will. They very much will. For the sake of the nation, for the sake of the community that has endured far too much hardship already, and for the sake of my daughter, who deserves to be happy, I will humble myself to you. Please, I beg you. I beg and plead with you now. Do the right thing. Side with love over bigotry. Spill no more tears from our children's eyes. Because we will fight for them if we must. They deserve no less, and no father of any merit could offer less. Hope I did you proud on this one, Sprat. Picture, captioned, it ain't about who you fight, it's about who you fight for. Solidarity forever. That is some good shit right there. Okay. So, as I go along doing this, make sure that you do the same. Go to the article right here. You see this little icon? That one right there? Little hand? Give it a clap. Bam. Dunzo on that. Make sure you go through the article itself. And, let's see. Jesus, what the hell do I say with concise words while I'm in the middle of this recording? You know what? I'll get a comment after I finish the recording. I want to sit down and actually make sure I write something that's not utterly inane. This was too good. Make sure that you do go here as well and that you do follow. I believe this will be green, but give them a follow. Make sure you do that. If you want, go ahead and give the YouTube page a follow, as well as give the video a like. just to try and help boost that engagement and that view. I also want to go ahead and throw out there, please, though I don't say it as much, I do continue to maintain links in the video to Coyote's first published novel, American Mystic, The Life, Death, and Rebirth of Jimmy Wonderful, which is available on Amazon. It's a fantastic read. Absolutely awesome. He also has a couple more in the pipe going through his fantastic publisher, Nightmare Press. I've got a link to them in the description as well. They have an array of different artists. I am terrible with names, so I cannot really name most of them off the top of my head, and my sincerest apologies to the publisher for that one. But I know Brocado, Satiros Brocado's over there. Got at least one through there. And again, Coyote's got a couple more in the pipe, plus the one that's already out of the pipe. So, like, it's good stuff. Again, link is in the description for them. Go check out their library. There is a lot there of just the weird and the interesting. Small-time publishing is, frankly, where it is at these days, because everything else is just so goddamn milquetoast. And that is my unpaid-for shilling that I do because I value you motherfuckers. Hell yes. It has been a long couple of weeks on my end. I did not get my recording done for More of Unsung last week because it was a long week. It's been a long stretch of things. It will continue to be a long stretch of things for at least a bit. But I'm working on rebounding back. Coyote actually checked in on me the other day, like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just tired. I'm like, I'm turtling the fuck up. I'm good. I'm not dead. I've definitely been worse. But like, oh, I'm just recuperating. Also here on the channel, we do have some new stuff coming out on a game called Darkwater. Make sure and go check that out. We've got 2 of them up right now, and I think we've got at least 1 or 2 more from the current recording, and we're going to get some more going here soon. But that is going to be it for my idiot ramble. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, that's what I got. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Stay hydrated. Deuces.